Hello, magical ones. Welcome to the Faerie Witch vlog, and I welcome you to this episode. And yes, you weren't imagining anything. You did hear puppies barking. Yeah, you didn't imagine it. You heard it. Uh, Today we're going to do another baking episode, and I welcome you to joining us. And if you're brand new to the channel, you're probably wondering, what do you do around here? Basically, we do a lot of different things, and you never know what you're going to get. So feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Basically, I talk mostly about fairies, fairyology, fairycraft magic practice, cats. We do a little gardening, we do some baking, we do artwork, we do crafting, we do knitting. We just kind of encompass it all, but I try to stick with the fairy theme or an animal theme of some sort. So if you've checked out my channel before, you've seen some of these videos before, normally we focus on doing cats, feline themed videos occasionally. Because we are kind of the cat family around here now. But, and I have done a cat baking episode. You might want to check out those cat treats episode on the channel. But I didn't want to forget our canine friends. So, considering that I have been a dog trainer in the past, I'm now retired, but, and I've had dogs most of my life, all of my life, except for the last couple of years. So we don't want to forget them, especially with the holiday season upon us. So today we're going to do a doggy treat baking episode. So grab your pen or your piece of paper or notepad and feel free to write down this original recipe. I've created it as part of my my pet treat recipe book, and so I definitely want you to join me in making my variation on another recipe that I created. And so today we will be baking, and I want to make sure I got the name right. We're going to do the Cheesy Beef Fleasy. That's what I call it. And so it's simple, and you just make the treats, and we're going to put it in the oven and see how it turns out. So let's sprinkle a little fairy dust and see what we can conjure up, hey? So first things first, ingredients. What do we need? Well, you're going to need some shredded cheese, mild shredded cheddar cheese. You're going to need a roll of ground beef. Now, depending on how many you want to make, you can get the bigger roll, the medium roll, or the little roll. It's up to you. I'm going to be using the smaller roll because I'm only going to be making a little bit of it just so we can make this recipe, so I don't need to make a whole big amount. But you want to think about your dog. If you've got a small dog, if you've got a big dog, then you want to obviously make up as many of them as you can, depending on how often you're going to be giving these treats to your dog. Think about that. Think about size. So we're going to grab some ingredients. You're going to need a cookie sheet or a baking pan. Excuse me. You're going to need some non-fat milk. You're going to need a little bit of quick oatmeal and a little bit of wheat flour, if you have any. And I believe that's it. So not a lot of ingredients. It's going to be fairly simple. So let me compile all of that, and while I put everything together, then it gives you a chance to do that too, and we can get started. So let me just say though, always think about when you're making a recipe for your dog or your cat or any pet, you want to make sure that you're sticking within the parameters of your dog's necessary diet restrictions, any medical restrictions, your whatever they may have allergies. You need to know what they're allergic to, what they're not, this kind of thing. Take all of that into account before you ever make any kind of homemade recipe, okay? If you're not sure, then have your vet check out your pet first and get that list first. That way you know whether this recipe will work or if you can adapt it. You can always change something out. So let's say they can't have oatmeal. You could leave that out. Maybe put some crushed breadcrumbs in, or maybe they can't have the wheat flour, but they can eat a little bit of regular flour, although that's not always recommended for dogs, but the wheat seems to be a little bit safer from what I've been told. My dogs always used to have a little bit of it, not a lot, just a little bit. It's just enough to bind the meat together, so you don't need a whole bunch of it. But again, if you're not sure, have your vet check your pet out and make sure that everything is going to be safe for them to have, okay? So let me grab those ingredients and we're going to get started. Okay, I'm back. So here we go. We've got a little bit of shredded cheese. We've got the quick, instant oatmeal oats. And we've got a small beef roll, just a little guy. And we're going to need some milk. I'm going to leave that in the fridge until I'm ready for it. Okay, so first things first, we need a mixing bowl, which I forgot to pick up. Let me grab that. On second thought, let's use this one. Okay, I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. Whoops. Okay, so first things first. We are going, so I'm going to wait and do the beef last. That can be messy. So, what we need is, alright, we need flour. Okay. Alright, so you need 1 cup of wheat flour. So I got my cup. Alright, 1 cup of wheat flour. Ready? Okay, and we need a cup of shredded cheese. Remember, keep mild cheddar. Let's get this up here. Ready? Whee! And it can be the regular shredded, or it can be the really fine shredded. I guess there's 2 different ones. One is just a little bit thinner than the other, so it's up to you which one you want to use. Alright, so we got a cup of shredded cheese. Alrighty. Then we need 2 teaspoons of the oatmeal. So I'm going to open that. 2 teaspoons. Yeah. So 2 teaspoons of oatmeal. 1, 2. Whoops. Alright. Okay, and then we need a 1/4 cup of milk. So let me grab 1/4. So 1/4 cup. Nope. Like I say, preferably non-fat. Pour that in. Hey. Okay. Alright, so then the next thing is the beef. So, like I said, I'm just using this little roll. And I'm not going to use the whole little roll because I don't need it. So I'm just going to maybe cut off maybe just a portion of it. So I'm going to slice this open. And I'm going to save that, rest of that roll. Okay. Alright, then I'm just going to squeeze it out of the package. There we go. There. Okay, now I need a big spoon, and I'm just going to mash it in and blend it all together. And the flour is going to help bind it a little bit so you can handle it a little bit better. It won't be as wet. Okay, I'm just mashing it down with the spoon edge and just blending it in. And I want to mash it down as best I can to make the chunks really flat. Okay, it's better. And if it looks like it's a little bit too dry, then I can add a little bit of water, and I'm thinking I might do that. Just a little bit. I think part of the reason why it's dry is because I didn't use the whole beef roll. If I'd used all of it, that probably would have helped give it plenty of moisture. But since I'm just doing a little bit of that roll, it just needs a little bit more moisture so it'll all bind together. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. That's good. Okay, so it looks like, you know, clumped up meatloaf. Okay, very good. All right, this will work. All right, so next thing you want to do is you want to turn your oven on at, let's see, it is 350 degrees. Okay, so get your oven preheated there. Right. Okay, so alright, so then I'm just using this little tiny little cookie sheet. But depending on how many you make will depend on what size pan you need. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, next thing is you could spray it with non-stick spray, but because it is going to be for your dog, you might want to avoid that. So you could put wax paper down. You could do aluminum foil. I'm just going to rough it. I'm just going to do the pan itself. So it may stick, it may not, but heck with it. I'm doing it this way. So what you want to do then is you're going to gather up a little bit of the food. Now again, you got to think about your dog's mouth size, okay, the mouth. You have to be able to, you need to be able to make the pieces small enough that it'll be comfortable for your dog to eat it. So if you have a Chihuahua or a Mini Pin or a Pomeranian or a Dachshund, they've got small mouths. They're going to want small bites. Okay. If you've got a Rottweiler, you've got a Irish Wolfhound, you've got a Doberman, you've got a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull, well, they've got a bigger mouth, so then they might want a little bit bigger piece. Not huge, but a little bit bigger, okay? So think about that when you're making these, and you can do it in 3 different ways. You could make a little cluster, and you just roll it up like this and make a little cluster shape and put it on the pan. Or you can do a really tight small bowl and roll it up like a meatball, and you just kind of get it really rounded over. Or the third option is you take a little bit of it, get it all clumped together, and then flatten it, and you make a little patty shape, so it's flat, okay, a little bit flatter shape. So you can do it either way, and either one of those ways will work. And then of course the other option is if you just want to rough it and you want to give them like something they can have, and you just spoon it out whenever you need it, whenever you want it, you can just leave it in the bowl, like this, spread it across the pan, and then when it's cooked and baked, just put it back in the bowl, put it in the refrigerator or a container in the refrigerator, and then you can just feed it out by spoon whenever you want to. So you can do it that way too. To make it cuter and a little bit nicer, and you can see actually the shape, I'm going to make the shapes. So let's get some of these suckers rolled and flattened and clustered out for you. And we're just going to do a bunch of these little guys. And there we go. And plenty of these, especially the smaller ones, you'll get a whole bunch of these little guys on the pan. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. There we go. Do a couple of flat ones. Yeah. There we go. And these are great, little things you can make for, a doggy birthday party. You could make these up as a little gift for Christmas, if you want to give them to, your friend's pets. I often remember my friend's cats. So every Christmas I try to give her kitties some new toys or some little treats. I did actually just gift her the recipe that I created on the cat treat channel, or cat treat episode I mentioned earlier. I gave her the recipe as a little gift, but we're hoping to see them before Christmas, so I probably will try to give her a little toy or something for her 2 cats. So it's always nice to to remember your friends' pets, because a lot of people don't stop to think about that. And they know when the holidays are here. They know when people are all more excited and the kids are bouncing off the walls and there's more candy and the trees come out and the holly and, all these different smells. And, the kitchen is usually busier and there's more bustle and hustle, and, there's packages and boxes around that weren't there, and paper and those fantastic ribbon and bows they want to play with. So, pets are aware when the holidays come up because they learn from watching us. And we get into our routines, you know, for parties and events and things like that. And so they know, they're aware. So, you know, don't forget them. So this is a good recipe for your pups, your dogs. And it's still food, so they're eating, and they're not eating junk. They're eating regular good food. So it you know, as long as they're, you know, their veterinarian is cool with them having it, yeah, this makes a good recipe. So let's get some more of these little guys rolled, and then we can put them in the oven. Flatten a couple more. Right. Okay. Alrighty, almost there. I think I got a little bit more room for a couple more. Let's just get these guys on there. There we go. Okay. So I actually could squeeze more in, but I think this is good. I want to make sure that they have plenty of room to cook. They're not going to expand or anything, but I just want to make sure there's plenty of room. Okay, so the oven is set at 350 degrees. They go in for 20 minutes. Okay, everybody, so we've just checked the timer. We've got a little more than 5 more minutes left. They're cooking nicely in there, simmering real good. So we will check them again and pull them out as soon as they're done. Okay, so the 20 minutes is up, and I'm going to pull them out. Grab an oven mitt. Oops. Yep. They're cooked. They are cooked. There you go. Yeah, they look good. Okay, so I'm going to let them cool down a few minutes, and then I'll scrape them out and put them on a dish, and we'll take a look at them, and just make sure everything, but so far they look good. They look right. They look good. So let me cool them down a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. There we go. Okay. All right, everybody. So we've got our Cheesy Beef Fleasies, and little puppy here, he's getting ready to chomp. Yeah. Sound effects provided by Matthew. So, yeah. He's good at this kind of thing. Good at a lot of things, actually, but he's good at that. So, yeah. So now we've got our Cheesy Beef Fleasies. So hopefully your pup will enjoy these. And we know some doggies that we think we're going to make happy for the holiday. So they are going to get these little nuggets, these little cheesy goody things. So anyway, We thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we hope that you will tune in, check out the rest of the videos already posted. Please have a great holiday. Help your puppy to have a good holiday along with your kitties and everybody else. And please feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to donate to us, we would love that and really appreciate it. Just click on our PayPal link listed below the channel name and just add a little note saying donation, and that would be fantastic. That would really make our holiday, and we thank you so much. So, happy holidays. Have a good one. Have a fairy day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.